Kate, I'm super excited to give you a spotlight today for Women's History Month. Looking back at your career, what originally inspired you to step into advocacy work?
I mean, honestly, like a lot of people who end up in the field, it kind of came as a surprise. I was working for a sexual and domestic violence program doing their prevention education in schools. The more I came to understand the dynamics of intimate partner violence and the ripple effects that it has on our communities, and then also all of the things that lead to that, it became a passion of mine. When I had the opportunity to join the Virginia Victim Assistance Network, that's when I really learned more about all kinds of victimization and just the field of victim advocacy as a whole.
How do you stay grounded and motivated while doing emotionally demanding work?
It's hard. It's really hard. I see a therapist, and that's helpful. What I've started doing is what I call rinse cycles, where I will, instead of like listening to a podcast or talking on the phone or even listening to music, I will just do something in silence.
Last time we spoke, you had a really great analogy for this rinse cycle.
Well, like when you think about a washing machine,
Yeah.
right? You can put in the dirty laundry and you can put in the detergent and then you turn it on, but if you're not letting that dirty water out and then rinsing it with the clean water and then letting that out, you're not going to get anywhere. You're just going to have wetter, dirty clothes. So I've been trying to find other ways to allow my brain that time to just free think and just come to some of the things that normally I'm drowning out with other noise.
This is something that we've seen across the board with different people working in advocacy is that emotional fatigue, taking the time to practice mindfulness and especially seeking out, support through either your family or a therapist. It's helpful for people entering into advocacy to know that this is okay, it's normalized, and that getting support and leaning on other people is going to be essential for maintaining your mental health. Who are the women who've influenced the way that you approach leadership?
My grandmother. She never met a stranger. She moved to a new town and very quickly had organized a Bible study and put together some different women's groups. I think that I got some of my desire for just getting people together for a common cause. I had a boss one time. Her name was Susan Rickman, and she had the greatest ability to communicate the mission of an organization through story. We're talking about things that people are often unfamiliar with, using story to educate people on what we do and how it works is important. And then lastly, our former executive director at VVAN, Christy Lawton, she was very warm and supportive, the champion for the staff. And I learned a lot from her.
A key part of being a leader is definitely being able to motivate people, also showing up every day and having that leadership approach that is very encouraging. That's what makes women really powerful leaders today. You serve on several local and state committees. What do you hope to contribute through your service?
There are a lot of places where decisions are being made that will impact victims of crime. There isn't always someone there to speak on behalf of those victims or the professional advocates who are responsible for serving them. When decisions are being made, there needs to be someone there speaking out.
What achievement or moment in your career are you most proud of today?
There's been several times that there has been a need for someone to step up. And I guess I'm just a sucker because I tend I tend to volunteer for those things. That's certainly the case with taking on the role of executive director of VVAN. We had learned that we were losing 80% of our funding. We thought maybe it was just like, well, it's been a good run. And I just said, look, I love this organization and I believe in it. And the response was, will you be the part-time executive director? And so, yeah, for a while in the beginning, I was like still doing my old full-time job and also taking on the executive director stuff. Uh, and it was wild.
So you were working hotlines, and then you were an interim executive director turned into full-time executive director of VVAN.
Yeah. The original plan was that I would keep my full-time job, but do it as a part-time job and then take on the role of executive director part-time because we
Wow.
didn't have enough money for the two positions. It was very common for me to just keep working until like 3 o'clock in the morning.
You are a mother, an executive director, and you serve on all of these committees. How do you show up with so much energy and stay present in all the things that you work on every day?
It is impossible to do everything, and that is something that I struggle with. But I have done everything I can to add some additional hours to the day, or days to the week. I'm probably the only person in the world who hates Fridays because I'm like, I haven't gotten as much done as I need to. But I'm just one person, and I'm only given 24 hours in a day, and I'm supposed to sleep for a chunk of that. The reason why I always show up for you and pretty much anyone that I talk to is because I need this. I need to feel like the work that I'm doing is impacting other people. That matters, I think, the most.
With how much you've contributed to the next team. You've seen us from when we first started and when we were just college students with no idea what we were doing to where we are now. And you've been absolutely instrumental to guiding the decisions that we've made, and how we've been able to support advocates across the country. So you definitely make a difference. If you could share a piece of wisdom with people entering this field today, what would it be?
I personally feel that anyone has the capacity to be an advocate. A lot of times people feel like they have to, silver lining things or try to cheer someone up. But there's a term called toxic positivity. Managing a victim's expectations is telling them very truthfully, this is the situation, here's what we have control over, here's what we don't have control over. And sometimes that includes saying, I know this is really disappointing, I'm disappointed too. Being able to sit with someone in their discomfort, that is a gift that not a lot of people can give. Don't feel like you have to solve people's problems in order to be their advocate.
It's extremely honorable work. I don't believe that it gets as much recognition as it should. People work every day. They put in the emotional labor of being there for the voiceless, and they oftentimes become the voiceless. Making sure that we are giving a platform to the advocates that are putting in the work every single day to serve our community is something that we're honored to do and we want to continue to do. Thank you from myself, from the people that you help every day, and from the team at NECX for all of your commitment to serving the community.